Okay, let's continue with our departure now. A quick brief of what we are exactly going to do. So we'll start off by setting the thrust to 50% and wait for engines to stabilize. Once the engines have stabilized, you'll set the flex thrust. There are three detents on the thrust levers, not the toga, not the climb, but the second one, the flex thrust. You set the thrust. Once the aircraft starts rolling, hold the stick forward until passing 80 knots. Once it passes 80 knots, get the stick back to center. By the time it reaches 100 knots, PM will call out 100 knots, PF will call out checked. At V1, hands off the thrust levers. At rotate, we'll begin the rotation to initial 50 degrees. Now the book says the rotation speed should be 3 degrees per second. So that means for reaching 15 degrees, you'll need 5 seconds. So mentally you can count about 5 seconds to reach 15 degrees. Once you've reached 15 degrees, positive climb, gear up, and then continue FD guidance. Now the thrust reduction and the acceleration altitude, it depends on various companies, is generally 500 feet and 800 feet. So 500 feet above the airfield elevation, you'll get a lever climb on the FMA, where you'll set the thrust from flex, we'll put it back to climb detent. You make use of the climb thrust. And 800 feet above airfield elevation, we'll lower the nose, accelerate, and call flaps upon schedule, which means the moment we cross the S speed, which is the SALAT speed, we'll call for flaps 0. And then after takeoff procedures, but mind it, in the new version, there's no after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist has been eliminated. So let's get on with the departure. So parking brake off, thrust 50%, and mind it, everything's going to be very fast because the aircraft is quite light and the speeds are very low for departure. So 50%, stabilized, set flex thrust, man flex 55, SRS nav auto thrust blue, 100 knots, stick center checked, V1 hands off, rotate, and up to 15 degrees, positive climb, gear up. Let's follow FD guidance. Okay, 500 feet, lever climb, thrust to climb detent. 800, let's start accelerating. We've crossed our speed, call flaps 0. And you get flap 0, you disarm the speed brake and turn off the nose wheel lights, because since the gear is up, there's no point of keeping the light which is on the nose wheel on. So since there's no speed restriction, the aircraft is accelerating to 250 knots. Alright, 4,000 feet transition, set standard, passing flight level 44 now. Beautiful Mumbai. Okay, approaching 9, flight level 90. Alt and 9,000 feet. Let's continue climb to flight level 360, a cruising altitude. Okay, it's going to be a managed climb, thrust climb, pull altitude, thrust climb, open climb. Alright, passing 10,000 feet, accelerating to 290 knots. And the procedures. Okay, landing lights off, nose light, which should have been off before, is off now. Seat belts off. Let's remove the constraint and take airport. 10,000 feet procedures complete. And that's my favorite part, popping out of the clouds. 1,000 feet to level off, approaching a cruising altitude. Alt cruise, flight level 360. Now things to do in cruise. Take the CAM memo page. We'll cross-check the flight progress. We'll keep checking the fuel. We'll monitor the fuel every 30 minutes. Navigation accuracy to be monitored as well. And weather radar, if required, you can adjust the tilt the way you want to. And sit back, relax, and enjoy the cruise. And I will catch you all in the next one for descent, approach, and landing. Thank you for watching. Ciao.